How's it going, Critter Family? I hope you all are doing well. Today we have no face cam. It's just you can use this video as a podcast if you would like. I'm just going to be explaining some tips and tricks that I would use for the upcoming holiday season, including fireworks. So, for a lot of people who have dogs, they know they don't like fireworks. Somebody sent me a message asking if I could cover this specifically, and so I said that I'd be happy to. So, for those of you who have dogs that are afraid of fireworks, depending on the severity, whether they're super, terrified, whether they run for their life, or your dog is just a little bit, worried, I would say first thing I would do is plan ahead. So you want to plan ahead if you are going to be walking your dog. On any day close to fireworks, I mean, people can have fireworks anywhere from a week leading up to a week beforehand leading up to a week afterwards or 10 days afterwards. So I would always make sure I have my dog on a martingale collar. This is what one looks like. There's no specific brand. um, I prefer the type with a cloth and not the chain, just because I don't like metal and chain. But I like the martingale because it is specifically designed um, after the greyhound, and the greyhound has a very very thick neck. I actually had a collar just like this, same color and everything for Adonis. I like this one because it has a locking feature so that it can't pop off. The greyhound has a very thick neck and a very small head. So, as you can see, this little bit of material, when you fit it properly, will keep the dog's head from sliding out of the martingale. As we have a picture of an example of it right here. So it's a little bit tighter, so that way the dog, it's an anti-slip collar basically is what it is. It's not there to choke the dog, but it's just there to keep the dog from getting out. So I would recommend having one of these and having a good harness on. And I would have a double ended leash. So much like this dog has, you would have one leash would be on the harness, the other leash would be on the collar. So if you're walking your dog in an area where there are going to be a lot of fireworks, that's what I would do. I would have a double leash and double ended leash. So I have 2 points of contact in case my dog freaks out. They're not able to slip out of the harness, or they slip out of their collar. One thing fails, you have two ways of controlling your dog. Secondly, I would make sure to walk my dog early enough in the day so that way we are not running into a whole lot of fireworks. I mean, people will still, blast them off when it's daytime and all that. So do your best, but the having the right tools will help your dog from getting loose and getting scared. Um, along with that, Along with that, you might consider using a thunder shirt for your dog. This is a compression garment that's made to work for thunders and thunder storms and fireworks and all that. I used to have one of these for my Shiba, and it worked very, very well. It really, really helped him with his anxiety. He would still shake, he would still freak out, but this definitely helped because predators, being predators, they feel comfort from being from compression shirts. Even Miss Ellie, my kitten, this little munchkin right here, she's much bigger now, but she benefits from having a little. I put a little bumblebee shirt on her when she's being crazy, and it helps her calm down a little bit. So the Thunder shirt is definitely something that might help you. It doesn't have to be this brand. There could be other brands. Compression shirt for dogs. You can even learn to make your own. But like all these little tight shirts, but just make sure that it's something that makes your dog feel comfortable. They feel protected. They feel safe. Along with that, you can try using a low dose sedative. You can ask your vet ahead of time for that, and you can give it to your dog ahead of time before the fireworks start. So that in along with everything else that you have going on, may help them feel a little bit easier. You can, I know a lot of people will oftentimes have their pups in the laundry room with the dryer going because that helps kind of drown out some of the sound. I know with Adonis that he was, he would just hang out in one room of the house that was like the least It was the most insulated, and so the least noisy when you could hear the fireworks going off. And we lived in Texas when this happened, so we had some big boomers out there. Some big bomb type, like professional fireworks going on, and it sounded like cannons and everything. But so try some of those techniques. I do not recommend trying to correct your dog. Hi, Ellie. Come on up. I think, yeah, Ellie just rubbed against the mic. So I don't recommend correcting your dog if they become fearful or for trying to back out of their harness or run away. I mean, you excuse you. It might be you're pushing buttons. So I don't recommend punishing your pet, your dog, whatever animal that you're working with. I don't recommend you punishing them if they show that they're fearful, because that's not going to help anything. The person who wrote to me said that they they did use an e-collar at one point and they absolutely regret doing it since then. So I appreciate you being vulnerable and sharing your story with me, and I'm so glad that things are working out better for you. I do appreciate that. And I wish you all absolutely the best of luck with your future. Um, I don't want anybody to think the way I do just because I said so. I want you to be able to think for yourself. Even though I'm very adamant about, I say don't do this or don't do that. At the end of the day, you do what, you do what you're gonna do. Quit chewing on that. Thank you. At least chewing on my desk here, but so those are some things that I would do. If you don't want to give your dog a sedative or you can't get to the vet in time, then maybe give them. You can look up the dose of Benadryl that would be safe to give your dog. Per weight. That might make them a little bit sleepy. Again, always at your own risk. I mean, I've given Adonis a little bit of Benadryl. I think it's 1 milligram per 1 pound of weight, but again, double check that or ask your vet ahead of time. We certainly have a little bit of time before New Year's is coming up, but I would suggest getting your dog used, and or cat or other animals used to these tools ahead of time. Like now, there's no time like the present. And you can practice getting them used to their thunder shirt. You can practice them. You can play the sound of fireworks on YouTube, and you can play them at a very low level and then slowly build your way up to louder and louder levels if you want. And you can even be rewarding your dog for things like that. I'm sure if you look up, Kiko Pup might have a video that might help you with that. So it looks like we have a video here from My Dog Training Spot, how to desensitize your dog to fireworks. This was 2 years ago. Looks like they're playing fireworks sounds at a low volume while they work with their puppy and reward their puppy. There's also a video by Kiko Pup, Dog Training by Kiko Pup, training sound-sensitive dogs. So that might be something that you might look at as well. So there's all sorts of different options you can use out there. I would start with training and speak with your vet right away if you want to. If you have a dog that is very, very fearful and you need to use a mild sedative for them, make sure that you plan all this ahead of time. Don't wait till the last minute. If you can't get in with your vet, then try considering some other options, such as the Thunder Shirt, training. Possibly use a little bit of Benadryl, of course, making sure that it's a low enough dose. Or if you're not comfortable, then I'm not a vet. I'm not saying go dose your dog up with Benadryl by any means. So at your own risk and look it up to see the levels of Benadryl. Make sure it doesn't have any xylitol or anything in there that could harm your dog. But an allergy pill, such as Benadryl, can help make your dog a little bit drowsy. Anyway, so those are some of the techniques that I would try and I have tried in the past with my Shiba, and it seemed to help him a good bit. The Thunder Shirt was probably what really helped, and I think, and if I had still had issues with that today, then I would definitely work on training with him. So Ellie keeps getting into everything, so we're going to go ahead and end that video there. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for checking in and listening. Go say how to your critters. Give them some kind of love and they appreciate. Ellie keeps pushing stuff. Until next time, practice peace, patience, and positivity.